Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Students, welcome back to biology online classes. Let's start with a new chapter today under CET NEET, that is reproductive health. Fairly good amount of questions may be asked from this particular chapter. One of the important chapter you can say for CET NEET. So the first method of directly injecting, take out the worksheet. We are discussing the worksheet number 1. First question, the method of directly injecting a sperm into the ovum is assisted by reproductive technology. In assisted reproductive technology, that is ART, is called 1. A gift, B ZIFT, C ICSI, D ET. Now assisted reproductive technology is the one where the male and the female individuals cannot fertilize, means they cannot have the production of normal gametes, or there may be some defect in their reproductive structures. In such cases, assisted reproductive technology is very useful. So we have studied in our theory there are different kinds of assisted reproductive technologies. The first one is the IVF and ET, that is in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. So the ova or the eggs which are collected from the female donors, or maybe from the wife. Similarly, the sperms, the male gametes which are collected from the male donors, or maybe say from the husband, then they made to fuse in the laboratory, which having the similar conditions like that of the body conditions. So in vitro fertilization outside the body. In vivo means fertilization inside the body. So now after the fertilization, the single celled zygote which is diploid, which is formed, correct? This zygote is then transferred either into the fallopian tube if it is in 8 blastomere stage, or if it is more than in 8 blastomere stage, then it can be transferred into the uterus. So two terms are given. One is ZIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. If the zygote which is having 8 blastomeres, it is implanted into the fallopian tube, it is called as ZIFT. But if it is more than 8 blastomere stage, say 16 blastomere stage, then or more, then it is directly implanted into the uterus. Then the term is given intrauterine transfer. So commonly called as IVF, in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer, IVF ET. So one of the effective ART, that is assisted reproductive technologies, it is in used. Or there is one more, that is ICSI, that is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. That means the sperm is directly injected into the cytoplasm of the ovum and the fertilization is made sure. Or there is a term called as artificial insemination. That means if suppose the male individual is not sufficiently producing the required amount of sperms, or there is any defect in sperm, like there is no motility of the sperm or some diseases are there, then the sperm is collected from the donor artificially, that is then introduced into the reproductive tract of the female. So that is called as artificial insemination. So that can also be done. Then there is one more method, that is called as GIFT, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. Sometimes the ova is not produced in case of female individuals. Then directly the ova which is collected from the donor and introduced into the fallopian tube of the female, that is called as the gift. Okay, gamete intra-fallopian transfer. So there are different assisted reproductive technologies are used. So the right one here, it is ICSI, means the method in which directly the sperms are injected into the ovum, that is the cytoplasm of the ovum, is one of the art. So the right option is the option C. Let's move to question number 2. Increased IMR and the infant mortality rate and decreased MMR means maternal mortality rate in a population will, what is the right option? Cause rapid increase in the growth rate, or result in decline in the growth rate, or not cause significant change in the growth rate, or result in an explosive population. What is that? If increased IMR means increased that is infant mortality rate, IMR. Okay, when the child who is at the age below 1 year, if there is increase in the death rate of the infants below 1 year, and decreased MMR means maternal mortality rate, if it is decreased in a population, what will happen and what is the consequences faced? Now let's discuss this. Now IMR means, as I said, it is infant mortality rate, correct? So it is the number of death per 1000 births. It is the number of death rate per 1000 births which are under the 1 year of age in the infants. Okay. Then similarly MMR means maternal mortality rate. That means the death rate of the mother. So this is also deaths for 1000 births, 1000 live births. Now what happens if IMR increases, that is infant mortality rate increases in a population, the growth rate will decline. Automatically the growth rate will go down, that is decline. And if MMR will decrease, that means the maternal mortality rate, it is decreasing, then the population growth rate will automatically increase. Okay, death rate kadime aada population rate will increase, correct? So if IMR increases, infant mortality rate increases, and MMR is decreasing, then the overall growth rate of the population will decline. It will decline. So the right option is the option B, results in the decline in the growth rate. Overall growth rate of the population will decline, because as IMR means infant mortality rate is 1000 live births, and MMR is for 1 lakh live births. MMR for 1 lakh live births, and IMR is for 1000 births. So since MMR is less when compared to the IMR, means maternal mortality rate, it is for 1 lakh population and IMR for 1000 population. So if the IMR is more, infant mortality rate is more, then that will result in decline in the growth rate. So the right option is the option 2. Got it? So IMR for 1000 live births and MMR for 1 lakh live births. So 1 lakh ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 1000 ನಲ್ಲಿ if you reduce 1, then that will definitely affect the population rate and results in the decline in the growth rate. Understood? Very important question. Let's move to question number 3. Intensely lactating mothers do not generally conceive due to, ತುಂಬ intensely lactating mothers, they will not conceive. Why? Because of the suppress of the gonadotropins or gonadotrophic hormones, or hypersecretion of the gonadotropins, secretion of more amount of gonadotrophins, or suppression of gametic transport, or suppression of fertilization. What is the reason? Intensely lactating mother means they have suppression of gonadotrophins or gonadotrophic hormones, which acts on the gonads and stimulates them. Testes in case of male individuals and ovaries in case of the female individuals. So gonadotrophins hormones get suppressed. Okay, so when gonadotrophins suppressed, then there is hardly any chance of conception or conceive. Okay, so it is a condition you have heard that is called as lactational amenorrhea. You have studied in theory class, that is lactational amenorrhea. So it is one of the natural method of birth control. What is called as lactational amenorrhea. So breastfeeding, it is one of the natural way of controlling the population. So it reduces the chance of conceiving by the female. Okay. So by affecting the production of certain reproductive hormones. So it mainly suppresses the reproduction of the hormone that is called as GnRH, gonadotrophin releasing hormones, as well as FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormones. So there will be no production, growth of the follicles, and there is no production of the ovum. Okay. So if there is no production of the ovum, there is no question of fertilizing the ovum. So it also secretes increased level of prolactin, one more important hormone, that is increased amount of prolactin, and prolactin hormone is responsible for secretion of the milk from the mammary gland, and it suppresses the ovulation, means release of the ovum from the Graafian follicle, that also gets suppressed. So overall, when the mother is intensely lactating, she would not generally conceive. Okay, so the right option is the option A or 1. Okay, students, let's move to next question, question number 4. Sterilization techniques are generally foolproof methods of contraception with least side effects. Yet this is the last option. Without any doubts, sterilization method gives 100% result. Then that means it is the best method to stop conception, to stop the conceiving of the female. Okay, stop the conception. But although it is 100% effective and with the least side effects, yet this is the last option for the couples. Although it is the most effective method, but it is the last option for the couples. Why? What is the reason? First reason is it is almost irreversible. That is the option 1. Second reason is of the misconception that it will reduce the sexual urge or drive. No, it will not reduce the sexual urge or drive in any manner. Okay. Then the third thing is it is a surgical procedure. Yes, it is a surgical procedure and it has to be carried out by a trained medical practitioner. Otherwise, if the surgical method will not go right, then that will cause problem to the patient. Then of lack of sufficient facilities in many parts of the country. Yes, there is a lack of facilities in many parts of the country. You can find this type of technologies in most of the advanced countries only, but not in the poor countries. So for question number 4, the right option is option D. That is, all the options are matching correctly. Option 1, 2, 3 as well as option 4. Let's move to question number 5. A national level approach to build up a reproductively healthy society was taken up in our country. Which year? That is in the year, yes, option 1 is 1950, option 2 is 1960, option 3 is 1980 and the option D is 1990. So students, which is the right option? Yes, you are correct. It is the option A or option 1, that is in the year 1950s. That exactly is 1951. It's given in the NCERT page number 57. You can mark, very important. So these action plans what are taken by the government of India has been assessed for every decades, for every 10 years it is assessed, and they plan for improved programs, reproductive health programs, that is areas which are related to the reproduction. So, and they are currently running in the name of RCH, Reproductive and Child Health Care. So, giving importance for the reproductive related aspects as well as for proper child care. Okay. So, that is the right option, that is option A. Next, move to question number 6. Emergency contraceptives are effective if used within 72 hours of coitus, that is the option 72 hours of coitus. Coitus means sexual intercourse. The right option is the option A or 1. Now, fertilization to take place, it requires around 48 hours. Once the sperms are introduced into the female reproductive tract, then it has to reach to the ampulla region, and ovum also has to be reached into the ampulla region simultaneously. So it takes around, say, fertilization takes place after, say, 24 hours to around, say, 48 hours. Andre 1 ರಿಂದ 2 ದಿನ ಬೇಕು for the fertilization after the coitus. And implantation, that is the attachment of the fertilized egg to the wall of the uterus, takes place only after 6 to 7 days it requires. So, if taken the emergency pills after 72 hours, its effective is very less. Okay, they are not as much effective. So, it has to be taken within the 72 hours time. So, levonorgestrel, you have heard about LNG20, levonorgestrel. Levonorgestrel, that is 20, LNG20. So, what is the meaning of that 20? That means 20 micrograms, that much amount has to be given. Okay. So, 20 means what is the amount or the quantity which is required to be given. So, this levonorgestrel, that is the very best synthetic progesterone. What is this levonorgestrel? It is the very best synthetic progesterone. So, if it is taken within the time period, that is of 72 hours, it can prevent the chances up to, say, 95% of the pregnancy. Okay. So, if it is taken earlier, if taken, say, within not even 72, within 24 hours one should take. So, if you take within 24 hours this synthetic progesterone, it is effective for about, say, 95%. Okay. But if you take within, if one take within 48 hours, then its effectiveness go down. That means, say, instead of 95% effective, it may go down to 85% effective if taken within, say, 48 hours. Then further, if its effectiveness decreases, if take within 72 hours. So, it may go down to 58% the effectiveness if taken within 72 hours. So, how early one takes, the effect is more. Okay, that much effectiveness is there. If taken within 24 hours, it is 95% effective. Taken within 48 hours, it is 85% effective. Taken within 72 hours, it is 58% effective. That is the effect of synthetic progesterone. Levonorgestrel 20. So LNG 20, it is an example for DASH. It is an example for IUD, intrauterine devices, which is a hormone releasing IUD, Progestasert as well as LNG 20. So how much the amount has to be taken? This many micrograms, 20 micrograms per day. 20 micrograms per day has to be taken orally. Okay. Next, coming to question number 7. Choose the right one among the statements given below. Which is the right one? A. IUDs are generally inserted by the user herself. No. IUDs increase the phagocytosis reaction in the uterus. Correct. IUD suppress the gametogenesis, production of gametes will not be suppressed. IUDs once inserted need not be replaced. No, it can be replaced. So the right option is option B. Option B mentioned page number 60 and 61. So IUDs usually they increases the phagocytosis of the sperm. Sperm are engulfed by these IUDs. So there are different types of IUDs like non-medicated IUDs, then that is copper releasing IUDs like C7, then CU7, copper 7, copper T, then multi-load 375, all you have studied in the theory. Then there are hormone releasing IUDs. Okay. So non-medicated example is your lips loop. Okay, so copper ions that will suppress the motility of the sperm and will not allow the sperm to fuse with the egg. That will not allow the sperm to fuse with the egg, and that is how it will prevent the conception. Or say hormone releasing IUDs. So in addition to they cause phagocytosis of the sperm, as well as they will decrease the motility of the sperm and will not allow the sperm to fuse with the egg, and that thereby it will prevent the conception. In addition to all these points, the implantation, it will prevent the implantation of the fertilized egg, implantation to the wall of the uterus. So as well as it makes the cervix hostile to the sperms. So the right option is the option B for you. Next, question number 8. Following the statements are given below regarding the MTP, that is medical termination of the pregnancy. In short, it is called as the MTP. Choose the correct option given below. Option 1, MTPs are generally advised during the first trimester. Absolutely correct. First trimester. But MTPs on certain ground, it can be also conducted up to 24 weeks. It is given page number 62 of NCERT. But two registered medical practitioners must be of the opinion formed in good faith that the required ground exists, and the grounds for such termination, the continuation of the pregnancy, it may harm to either child or the mother, or responsible for causing any harm to child or mother, or causing any disease. Okay, or if there is a chance of any stillbirth, premature stillbirth, defective birth of the child, if it is responsible for these reasons, then it can be terminated. Or during the unwanted pregnancy, that means during the rape or such illegal things are happened to the female, then it cannot be, so then it can be performed with the legal procedures. Okay, if there is a risk to the pregnant woman or any say injury physically or maybe mentally present, or if there is any substantial risk to the child which you are born, if there is any problem it causes to the child any physically or mental harm, then it can be performed under the guidance of two medical practitioners. So up to say 24 weeks. 24 weeks means around how many months? 3 plus 3, around 6 months, right? Okay. So MTPs are generally advised during the first trimester, but up to second trimester. So that is the right option. Second one, MTPs are used as a contraceptive method. It is not a contraceptive method. MTPs are always surgical. Medical termination is always surgical. That is correct. Then MTPs require the assistance of qualified medical personnel. Yes, it requires qualified medical personnel. MTPs are always surgical ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Is it correct? The right option here is 1 and 4. MTPs need not be always surgical. So there are certain chemicals can also be used in order to terminate pregnancy. This also I have mentioned in my theory class. What is that? MIFE, mifepristone plus prostaglandins. Mifepristone plus prostaglandins. I already explained what are prostaglandins. So if you want to take using chemical drugs, this is the name of the chemical drugs, that is mifepristone plus prostaglandins are more effective, okay, are the examples. So these drugs, these are the chemical drugs and need to be taken under the supervision of a trained medical practitioner, licensed medical practitioner only, legal. Okay, so chemical drugs can also be used for the medical termination of the pregnancy. Surgical method is not the end. Okay, so option 1 and 4 are the correct options. That is option C. Let's move to question number 9. From the sexually transmitted diseases mentioned below, identify the one which does not specifically affect the sex organs. Syphilis, AIDS, gonorrhea, genital warts. Syphilis is an example for sexually transmitted diseases studied. Treponema pallidum, it is the positive agent for syphilis. Neisseria gonorrhoeae, positive agent for gonorrhea. AIDS is caused by HIV virus, human immunovirus, correct? And genital warts also caused by herpes simplex virus, human papilloma virus, HPV. So all these things we have studied in our theory classes about the different diseases. So AIDS, it is caused by human immunovirus, which is an example for retrovirus, means it uses the enzyme reverse transcriptase, correct? So it uses the enzyme reverse transcriptase and it will convert the RNA into the DNA. Okay, by you undergo reverse transcription and they synthesize DNA from the RNA. So it mainly affects the Th cells, that means T helper cells, and these Th cells or the T helper cells, they are mainly responsible for causing the immune system, both humoral immunity, that is antibody mediated immunity, as well as the cell mediated immunity. Okay, so which are involving both the cells, B cells as well as the T cells. That is why a person's immune system becomes impaired if he is infected with the HIV. Okay. So he may be prone to many opportunistic infections like tuberculosis or even with the simple viral infections like common cold may also take long time for cure. Okay, so the symptoms may be include severe weight loss and impaired immune system. Similarly, you take genital warts. See the option D. What is genital warts? It is caused by human papilloma virus, HPV virus. So presence of small bump on the skin, on the, see especially on the genitals, it is caused by common sexually transmitted infection, that is a virus that is called as the human papilloma virus, HPV. Similarly, you take another option, that is syphilis. You take, it is a bacterial infection and it is usually caused due to the sexual contact, unprotected sex. So usually it starts as a painless sore, okay, called as a chancre, painless sore or a chancre. It starts, then it can be spread through the sexual contact, skin to skin contact or body fluids contact. Okay, so syphilis in the advanced stage, it is very dangerous. That means it may cause permanent organ damage and may be fatal, leads to the death of the individual. Similarly, gonorrhea. So syphilis is actually spread by Treponema pallidum. You have studied, right? Treponema pallidum. So it is caused by a bacterium, that is spiral shaped bacterium. You call it as spirochete. Spirochete andre eno? The spiral shaped bacterium, that is Treponema pallidum, which causes the syphilis. So there are different stages, first stage, second stage, last stage hagide. So first stage andre from 10 days to 3 months. 10 days in the 3 months, that is called as the stage 1. So after the exposure to the infection, so in the body small painless sores, we call chancre, they start to develop. That pain irudilla on the skin, different parts of the body it will develops. Then during the second stage ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಸೇ ಅಬೌಟ್ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಾದಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಧಾರಣ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2 to 10 months ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೋರ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ರ್ಯಾಶ್, ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೌತ್, ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ರ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೌತ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ವೆಜೈನಲ್ ರೀಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದ ಏನಸ್ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ glands becomes swollen, different glands of the body, they become swollen and also causes spasms in the muscles, muscle ache. Then if still left, then there is one more phase that is called as latent phase. So this is also called as the hidden phase, where the symptoms may not be appeared externally, but hidden symptoms are there. So the bacteria, they remains dormant in the body for very many years, say for around 10 years up to 30 years, the bacteria may remain dormant within the body. Then comes the third stage. Here the most of the severe stage, okay, may appear after the latent phase, may appear after say 10 years to 30 years of the infection, and the infection present may causes premature death due to multiple organ failures. Okay, the chances are there. So the next option, if you see, that is gonorrhea. It is also a sexually transmitted infection which is caused by a bacterium called as Neisseria gonorrhoeae. It may also causes the infertility. So the main symptoms, it is the inflammatory discharge from the genitals, maybe from the urethra or maybe from the vaginal discharge. The bacterium will be there. Okay, let's move to the next question. That is question number 10. Condoms are one of the most popular contraceptive devices because of the following reasons. Why? These are effective barriers for the insemination. They do not interfere with the vital act. These help in reducing the risk of STDs or all of the above. Yes, they have the features or properties of all of the above. So the right option is the option D. Let's move to question number 11. Choose the correct statement with regarding the Zift procedure. We have already discussed about the Zift procedure, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. So here ova collected from a female donor are transferred to the fallopian tube to facilitate, that is called as gift, not zift. Gamete intrafallopian transfer ಆಯಿತು. Second, zygote is collected from the female donor. zygote collect ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So next, zygote is collected from the female donor, ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲ. So ova collected from the female donor and then transferred into the uterus, that is option D. Next, question number 12 ಗೆ ಬರುವ, the correct surgical procedure as a contraceptive method is ಯಾವುದು? ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಸೆಪ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಓವರಿಯಕ್ಟ್ರಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ಜಿಕಲ್ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಓವರೀಸ್. ಹಿಸ್ಟೆಕ್ಟ್ರಮಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಸರ್ಜಿಕಲ್ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಯುಟಿರಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವ್ಯಾಸೆಕ್ಟಮಿ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ cutting off the part of the vas deferens and then tying up so that the sperms will not travel further. Okay, then what is the fourth option? That is D, castration. So castration means it is the removal of testicles of a male animal or man. Surgical removal of the testicles of the male animal or maybe of a human man. Okay, that is called as castration. So the right option is the C, vasectomy. Let's move to question number 13. Diaphragms are contraceptive devices used by the females. Choose the correct option from the statements given below. Diaphragms. A, they are introduced into the uterus. Howda? No. They are placed to cover the cervical region. Correct. Then they are act as physical barriers for the sperm entry. That is also correct. They act as a spermicidal agents. They will not kill the sperms, but they only physical, they act like a barrier for the entry of the sperms, and they are placed of course above the cervical region. So option 2 and 3 are correct. So option C is the right option for you. Next, coming to question number 14. The appearance of chancre, rashes all over the body are symptoms of, just we discussed, that is option 3, syphilis. Next, question number 15. One of the following is not a method of contraception. Which one of this? 1. Tubectomy means cutting and tying of the fallopian tube surgically. That is called as the tubectomy. Second one is condoms. It is also a method to avoid contraception method. Pills of combination of oxytocin and vasopressin. No. Pills will always be combination of either progesterone alone or the combination of estrogen and progesterone. It is not oxytocin or vasopressins. So lips loop is also an example. It is an example for IUD, which is non-medicated IUDs. Okay, intrauterine device. So the right option for you is the option 3. So how this contraceptive pills act? Just very carefully listen to me. Now, there are different hormones which are involved in the female reproduction. Correct? First is the hormone FSH or follicle stimulating hormone. So what is the function of a follicle stimulating hormone? This FSH is responsible for the developmental stage of the follicles there are different developmental stages of the follicles. There is primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, Graafian follicle. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಆಗೋದು FSH. Next, coming to another hormone, that is estrogen. So FSH ಇರುವಾಗಲೇ estrogen is also secreted by the follicles. So the amount of the estrogen, it is moderate or less, then there will be no problem for the secretion of FSH. FSH ಅದರಷ್ಟೇ secrete ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ if the amount of estrogen is normal. So this estrogen is secreted by the developing follicles. Then just before 1 or 2 days of ovulation, then the level of another hormone goes up, that is LH, that is luteinizing hormone. So when the luteinizing hormone increases, which causes the rupture of the Graafian follicle and responsible for the process of ovulation. So once the LH level goes up, then automatically the estrogen level also starts to move up after the ovulation. So when the estrogen level goes high, then automatically once again the level of LH and the FSH will come down. Similarly, after the ovulation, during the luteal phase, there will be formation of corpus luteum, and it will secrete one more hormone, that is the pregnancy hormone, called as progesterone. So progesterone and estrogen levels both are high, okay, at this stage. Okay, but if there is no fertilization, if there is no pregnancy, then the corpus luteum will change into a scar, that is called as the corpus albicans, and the progesterone hormone goes on declining. Both the level of estrogen and progesterone goes on declining, and a new menstrual phase will begins. So both this estrogen and progesterone are helpful regulation of the normal menstrual cycle. If these hormones are taken in the form of synthetic pills, synthetic hormones in the form of pills, okay, then definitely they will prevent the development of the follicles, and the release of the ovum also will be prevented. Okay, if there is no follicular development, then there is no question of maturation of the ovum, and fertilization can be prevented. So the most of the pills, the synthetic pills, contain the synthetic hormones such as estrogen and progesterone, or progesterone alone, or maybe combination of estrogen and progesterone. So the synthetic progesterone is called as progestin or progestone, progestin or progestagen, progestin or progestagen, progestogen. This is the synthetic progesterone. Example for synthetic progesterone. So how these hormonal pills, they work by preventing the follicle stimulating hormone production, preventing the different stages of development of the follicles, prevent the ovulation process, and prevent the conception by preventing the fertilization. All right. We'll move to the next question. Question number 16. Which of the following statement is correct regarding the sexually transmitted disease, that is STD? 1. The chances of a 5 years boy contacting a STD are very little. Correct. Because there is hardly any chance that the 5-year-old boy can have sex. So genitals are not very well developed. So that is the right option. Let's see also the other 3 options. Option 2. A person may contract syphilis by sharing the milk with one already suffering from the disease. It is not transmitted through the milk. Then hemophilia is one of the STD. You already studied about the disease hemophilia in Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So hemophilia is one of the genetic disorder. Genital herpes and sickle cell anemia are STDs known. Genital herpes, it is caused by herpes simplex virus. It is an example for STD, that is sexually transmitted disease, but not the sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is a hereditary disease. It is a genetic disorder where the shape of the RBC become sickle shape, and they will be having decreasing ability to transfer or carry the oxygen from one part of the body to another. So the right option is the option 1. Next, question number 17. The stage transferred into the uterus. The stage transferred into the uterus. One minute. Yeah. After induced fertilization of ova in the laboratory is stage transferred into the uterus. After fertilization of the ova in the laboratory is 1 zygote, 2 embryo at 4 blastomere stage, 3 embryo at 2 blastomere stage, or 4th one morula. Fertilization of the ovum, that is in the laboratory, it is the right option is the morula. Okay. So you have heard about IUT, intrauterine transfer, right? The stage transferred into the uterus, intrauterine transfer, it is called as after induced fertilization of the ova in the laboratory. That is when the zygote is in more than 8 blastomere stage. See, more than 8 means around 16 blastomere stage. That stage is called as the morula. At that stage, the fertilized egg can be directly transferred into the uterus, not any part, not anywhere, but to the uterus. That is called as intrauterine transfer, or that is called as the IUT. Intrauterine transfer, also called as the IUT. So the right option is the option D4, that is morula. Let's move to question number 18. One of the legal methods of birth control is abortion by taking an appropriate medicine. That is not a legal method. By abstaining from coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle. Abortion, if it is medically approved, then only can be done, otherwise it is illegal. By abstaining, by avoiding from coitus, sexual intercourse from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, that is the legal method of birth control. So this is one of the best method, because that time, that is during the 10 to 17 days of the menstrual cycle, the chances of chances of ovulation is very high, and if the sperm comes in contact with the ovum, definitely there will be chances of fertilization will take place. That is the peak period when the fertilization chances are more. So if one avoids the sexual intercourse, then there is no chance that the sperm will come and meet with the ovum. So by abstaining from coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle is the right option. By having coitus at the time of daybreak, it is not the right option. By premature ejaculation during the coitus is also a not right answer. Let's move to next question, question number 19. IUDs which are used by females, intrauterine devices which are used by females, act as spermicidal jellies. Spermicidal jellies means they will kill the sperms. No, it is not the correct option. Next, block the entry of the sperm into the vagina. No. Are implanted under the skin. No, those are the implants, and they release the progestogen and estrogen. That is also not the right option. Then see the option 4, release the copper ions in the uterus, that increases the phagocytosis of the sperms. Yes, they engulf the sperms. That is the right option, option 4. Next, question number 20. Tubectomy is a method of sterilization in which, what is tubectomy? 1. Small part of the fallopian tube is removed or tied up. That is the right option. It is the removal of small part of the fallopian tube or the oviduct, and it is tied up so that the ova will not be further move to the region of the ampulla where the fertilization takes place. So the option 1 is the right option. See the option 2, ovaries are removed surgically, no, ovirectomy, no, that is not the right option. Small part of the vas deferens is removed or tied up, that is the vasectomy, that is also not the right option. The uterus is removed surgically, that is called as the hysterectomy, that is not also the right option. Okay, so students, we have finished around 20 good questions. So under the first worksheet for the chapter reproductive health. So rest of the 15 questions of this worksheet number 1 we will cover in the next session. So take down all the important points what I have written on the board, as well as take down my lecture notes, and thank you students for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.